What's going on, guys? Chuck back with another awesome Blu-ray purchase, and today is just a pickups video. Some stuff I've recently gotten, mostly from Shout Factories. I went in and picked up a lot of their select titles, which mostly these are replacements for DVDs, or actually, yeah, all DVD replacements, with the exception of one. And as far as the Shout Select Blu-rays go, and then a couple of pre-orders I had, and along with some box sets I picked up. So without further ado, let's start off with the first one from, again, the Shout Select library, The Incredible Shrinking Woman with Lily Tomlin and Charles Grodin, Ned Beatty, as it says here. This is a replacement for, I actually had this on VHS and DVD. Obviously a comedic version of, what was it called? Was it Richard Matheson? I hope I'm getting that right. Remember that right? His book, The Shrinking Man, I think it was called, which of course was adapted to The Incredible Shrinking Man. And this is the comedic take on it from around 1980-81. I don't know. I don't think it was really highly regarded or received by most people, but I think kids liked it, at least according to what Lily Tomlin and her partner and writer of the film, her name, Jane Wagner, said. Rewatched it, and it's a lot of it. I don't know if it holds up, but I still enjoyed it. Or something. I was always enjoyed Lily Tomlin. Yeah, there's some things in the film that just don't kind of work. And I didn't realize this was directed by Joel Schumacher, which is like, wow, okay. But it's got a really crazy pastel set decoration. I think it's really, I don't know, it's really pastels, bright pastels. I think he said he took the, when he was decorating or designing the set, or helping design the set or whatever, he took Necco wafers, I guess, which were very pastel color. He put them up and said, yeah, this is the color I want, and whatever. But it really shows. I mean, the colors are here are just outlandish, very gaudy. Even from a late 70s, early 80s perspective, they're pretty out there. But obviously the main theme of this is consumerism and taking over our lives or whatever. But like I said, it's interesting after having just watched The Incredible Shrinking Man and seeing some of the scenes in here that were similar to that. Not many, obviously. This is a whole different take for the most part. I mean, the plot is totally different. This is the more evil consumerism, plot to take over the world kind of thing, which is maybe a little too much for this. But I think even the writer, she commented there was more she wanted to put in, but it just couldn't work out. Whereas opposed to the more dark, introspective tone of the original film. But it's got some good laughs. John Glover is in here, which has the head of the evil corporation, which is a nice surprise. You've got Lily Tomlin doing some for famous characters, which are hit and miss, and sometimes kind of the specific one, and I can't remember her name, but the phone operator character she does, it's kind of thrown in at a really weird time. And it just kind of takes you out of what is supposed to be a tense scene, if you will, tense, but dramatic scene, important scene, and it kind of throws you out with that little bit of comedy gag, if you will. But it's still, you don't take it too seriously. It's a fun little movie. Good way to waste 90 minutes or so. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I did like, Lily Tomlin from around this time. This is like, I think she's mentioned that she stopped production halfway through because she had to do 9 to 5, which is another film I really like of hers. So, I enjoyed it. I think it's worth a watch. Your opinion may vary, but I was glad to pick it up from Shout Factory. Now, the next one is one it's not a replacement, so this is the new one in my collection. And one I don't think I've actually seen, at least not as a whole. I'm pretty sure I've seen parts of it on HBO, and that is Used Cars. I've heard a lot about this. I know it didn't do really well. It's a kind of somewhat of a cult classic. But again, this was Shout Select had this, and it just seemed like good time to pick it up. You've got Kurt Russell, Garrett Graham, Jack Warden, but mostly Kurt Russell. So it seemed, why not pick this one up? In the way of special features on here, you got an interview with the writer, producer, and co-writer Bob Gale, of course, who worked with Robert Zemeckis on the Back to the Future trilogy. They're partners, so that's a little interesting bit there. And actually, Robert Zemeckis directed, so there you go. I should have known that. I remember seeing that on, the movies that made us. So there's that. And you got some outtakes, radio interviews and spots in a trailer. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out again. I know I'm pretty sure I've not seen the whole thing, but just bits and pieces of it. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Next up is one that is a replacement, and I absolutely love this movie. And I was so glad when I heard Shout was putting this in their Shout Select collection. Shout Factory putting this in their Shout Select collection. That's a tongue twister. And that is Goldie, Hawn, and Wildcats. This is kind of one of those genres that I enjoy. The down their luck sports team with the misfits makes good. Against the all powerful, good, better team or whatever, which is played out very well, mostly in dramatic purposes. But this is done for comedic purposes, and it's done very well. And I love Goldie Hawn in this movie. I mean, it's got also Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, Nick Corey, who you're like, who's Nick Corey? Well, if you remember, he's Rod from the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So there's that. You've got Michael T. Williamson, better known as Bubba from Forrest Gump, in here. So you have all these, at the time, unknown actors who would go on mostly to do more well-known parts. But again, this is a fun movie. I really love Goldie Hawn in this movie. I love Goldie Hawn from around this time too. There's not much in the way of special features on here. You've got it's a restoration of it's a 2K scan, so that's pretty cool. You got some interviews with the screenwriter, and then a trailer. There's not much on here, but I'm just glad to have this on Blu-ray, because I just had the DVD version, and I really, really do love this movie. So next up is another replacement, and one I really like. I don't think he mentioned too much. That's Richard Pryor and Brewster's Millions, and this is actually a collector's edition when it came out. So there's a couple good features on here, and it had a reverse artwork, which I'll just pop this out, and which, if I can do this here without making a mess, there's his face is obscure with the disc cup, but there's the original artwork, or what would have been the slipcover artwork. I got us a little late, but this is one of those, Richard Pryor films. I don't think it's talked about too much, but it's a lot of fun. You got John Candy in it. For those, most people probably know the premise is that Richard Pryor is a down-luck baseball player, and finds out he's a relative of, or he's inherited a huge amount of wealth from a rich relative he had no idea he had, who coincidentally is a white guy. But he's given him all this money, but he has to spend it all within, I think, 30 days, and be totally penniless in order to get his own inheritance, and he can't tell anybody about it. So the thing is, you think it's really easy to blow up money in 30 days and come out penniless, but you kind of find out it's not as easy as it looks, and it's a really good, I don't know, it's Richard Pryor, he does it really well. Obviously he's humor, but he has a lot of dramatic pathos in it, I think, and man putting too much into it. But there's some scenes where it's like, you can tell he puts a lot of heart in the character, which really, I don't know if Richard Pryor got enough credit for in some of his acting roles. The Toy being another one where he really brings a heart to a character really well, and I really love this movie. And what's cool about this collector's edition, which I was not aware of, is that it actually includes, along with audio commentary from film critics, and host of the podcast Critically Acclaimed. Don't know who they are, but you got an interview with a screenwriter. But mainly, which is really cool, you have a bonus film, and that is the 1945 version, Bruce's Millions, which is black and white film. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even realize that when I purchased this. When I got it, I saw that as a special feature, that you've got that original 45 version on here. So 2 films for the price of 1, and I'm really interested in checking out the original version of the film and see how it is. So yeah, this is, again, if you've never seen Bruce's Millions, I recommend it, giving you to watch. It's a fun movie with a lot of heart. It's very sweet. The last film in my Shout Select pickups was another replacement, and this is a film that is very, very near and dear to my heart. It is one of my, I guess you say, one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite films, one of my all-time favorite films. I put it on one of my top list of personal favorites, and it is The Jerk. This is my favorite Steve Martin film. I love Steve Martin, but this one is just beyond anything else. This is my absolute favorite. I love and adore this movie so much. And it's also like his first film, which is really cool. But something about this, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the utter silliness of it, the quotable dialogue, just Martin's performance, so much of it, but it's really sticks out to me. And again, this movie is very near and dear to me. I love, love, love this film. And this is the 40th anniversary edition. Now, my DVD was the 25th anniversary edition. So there wasn't a whole lot of features on that DVD, but they've been ported over to this. And I think the only thing that was added is that this is a remaster from a 2K transfer. And you've got a conversation with Steve Martin and Carl Reiner. So that is something I definitely look forward to checking out. And then you've got a conversation with Carl Reiner's co-writers, Carl Gottlieb and Michael Elias. So that's, the new features are on here. The ones poured over were Learn How to Play, You Belong to Me, and the lost film strips of Father Carlos Las Vegas de Cordova. So, that's got to be fun if you don't understand what that means. But very happy to get this. Like I said, I can't stress enough how much I love this movie, and I think I've already said that enough. But definitely, if for some reason you've never seen The Jerk, I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. Again, there's so much good stuff in here. So many quotable lines of dialogue. A lot of fun. And, go out and check it out ASAP. Now, on to a couple of the pre-orders. Nothing really crazy or outstanding. These are just some, more recent mainstream films. Oh, excuse me. That were coming out, and I just happened to pick up pre-order. First one is for me and for the kids. It started off with the kids, but I've really enjoyed this movie too, and that was Disney's Encanto. I know that a lot has been said about this film. It's become very popular, and rightfully so. It is a very good movie, a very fun movie. It's got catchy music from Lin-Manuel Miranda, who seems to be on Disney's go-to for great musical pieces. My kids love this movie, and they they're ages 11 and 6. Started with my daughter. She watched it, and she had it on our Disney Plus on her tablet, and she watched it nonstop on a loop, and to the point where she can recite the dialogue almost word for word. The song Surface Pressure, she can almost do the choreography, with the character as he sings a song, which is amazing to me. In the short time she had to watch this, she caught on. She did the same thing when she watched Frozen. She had Elsa's Let It Go, the whole choreography, that whole scene to a T when that first came out. So she's a performer, my girl. But even my son, he really enjoys it. And, he's hard for him. It's hard to get Chris to sit there and watch a lot of movies. Honestly, he's on YouTube. I always tell him if I want to see anything, it has to be on YouTube. But a game to sit down and focus on a movie is very hard. But, recently I've been able to do that because I've gotten to watch all Spider-Man films. But, he really focused on those. But he really sat down and watches. He can actually recite dialogue on this a lot. I think it's because his sister probably made him watch a lot. But it's a lot of fun. It's a good family movie. The music is fantastic. It's got heart. I mean, I shed a tear. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a softie. But it had a good range of emotions. It's a good family movie. I highly recommend it. And remember, we don't talk about Bruno. So, the other pre-order I got was a Marvel film, and that was The Eternals. I had not seen this in theaters. I missed out on it. And I know it was on Disney Plus, but I wanted to wait till I got the Blu-ray. Mainly because I didn't want to worry about a option in streaming or whatever. I'm very particular. I did the same thing with Shang-Chi when it came out. I waited till I got the Blu-ray to watch it. And I know this one's got a lot of been very divisive along with fans and not been the most well received of the Marvel films. And I will admit it's not my favorite. But I enjoyed it. I really did. I mean, it's not one I'm going to go to just for fun to go watch. It's one I'd probably watch just as if I'm, watching the string of Marvel films, But it's not one I'm pulling on the show just by itself. Hey, I want to watch Eternals. I don't think it's going to be one of those. But I did enjoy it. It'd probably take a few more viewings to get a lot. And this is something that, again, I know nothing about the Eternals. I've never been a big Marvel comics guy. I was always more DC oriented. So I was doing more about more obscure DC stuff than anything from Marvel. I mean, after like the first and second phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe films, I was pretty much out. When I started reading out like Shang-Chi and the Eternals, and I'm seeing like Moon Knight. Okay, so I have no clue. These are people and characters I'm not totally familiar with, which is probably good. I think if something like that, if you're going in blind, it leaves you open to maybe better enjoying it as opposed to having expectations for something, and not fulfilling those. So maybe that's one of the reasons why maybe I enjoyed it more. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, this is a 4K disc, but I don't have the 4K, but I got the 4K and Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray was really good. It sounded fantastic. I think it was fun. I know I'm not really going to give you a big on audio video reviews. I'm not the most detailed guy with stuff like that. I can just tell you it looked good. It sounded good to me. We enjoyed it. So there you go. That's my video and audio review of the Eternals. So after that, now I got a couple box sets here. The first one was a couple weeks back. Arrow Video was having a box set sale. And this was actually for the UK division of Arrow. And I went in and checked it out, saying what they got. Not a whole lot really stuck on me, but there was one I did pick up, and that was the Hellraiser box set, which features Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3. Now, I already had the Arrow releases of Hellraiser 1 and 2, but I did not have 3. And those were Region A versions. Now, I don't think Hellraiser 3 was released in Region A. Because this is a strictly region, you see here, it's strictly a Region B collection. As most of you have seen this, because it's not a new release. Most of you probably know that. But it seemed like, a good deal. Why not try and get Hellraiser 3? What the heck? Honestly, I really wish they'd have put Bloodlines in here since they were the 4 theatrically released films. I think it would have made sense to put all 4 of them here, even though Hellraiser Bloodline is the weakest of these 3 films. But that's the whole long story as to why that is, if you've read up on the history of Bloodline. But I think that would have made, more of a complete box set. But still, you've got these 3 films, and, they're packed with, at least Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 are packed with extras. And the Hellraiser 3 has a few extras, but I don't think it's near as much as 1 and 2. But I thought, what the heck, again, I have the region-free player, and this was at a great price, even with the conversion from pounds to dollar. It was a good price, so I had to snatch it up, and I'm glad I did. It's a beautiful box. I know there's I had that fancy box sometime back, limited edition Scarlet box, so this is not that, obviously, but this is still cool. And here's all your, features that are on here. I mean, it's a loaded box set, and it's a nice box set, and this is a good sturdy box. And then you've got, they're all kind of backwards here, but and of course it has the reverse artwork, the arrow artwork, but I reversed them to the theatrical posters, which I really like. So yeah, again, it was a great deal. I'm glad I picked this one up. Again, my only disappointment was I wish I would have had 4, just to be for completeness sake. That being said, will I pick up for myself? Probably not. It's probably the only way I would have got it if it was in the box set. But, what can you do? Now, last box that I picked up was one I got out of necessity, really. And why I say it is because the other day I went to watch a movie, and it didn't play in my player, which is very disappointing. That movie was Superman 2. The theatrical version, not the Donner cut. And the disc I pulled that from was from this classic 14-disc Ultimate Superman collection, which came out, Superman Returns was came out in 06, so this is probably 2007. I don't know if this came out because Superman Returns is on here, so it had to be after it was in theaters. So probably 2007, something like that, I'm guessing. But I absolutely love this box, and if you don't remember, you have this great slip, of course, Brandon Routh in there. The lenticular. This is a beautiful DVD box set with all kinds of special features and whatnot. You've got the comic book and all these other things, and you've got all these discs in here, and it's just, wow, it was beautiful. And I've been through every one of these, when I had this numerous times, and they all played well, played beautifully. And then for whatever reason, I decided, hey, you know what, I haven't seen Superman 2 in a long time, the theatrical version. And I pop it in my player. Can't read. Well, it starts up with the Warner Bros. Logo, then it stops and says it can't read. So, okay, I tried it. It was my PS4. So I tried it in my PS3. Same thing. Then I tried it in my region-free Blu-ray player. Can't read the disc. So, okay, that's very disappointing. I tried some of the other discs in the set. They played fine. So now I have a Superman Ultimate Collector's Edition with Superman 2 doesn't work. Doesn't seem right. So this was the universe's way of telling me, Chuck, you need to upgrade. So I looked around, and it is hard because this set is very comprehensive. There's so much stuff on this set, besides the different versions of the film, with the exception of the extended version of Superman the movie, which is the one they released on Blu-ray some years back with the television edits, like the 3-hour version, which included the special edition mixed with the television version, which is a fun version. It's a long version. It's got pretty much everything you could have version, but it also omits pieces of music for copyright reasons, which is very disappointing, and a few other things. But anyway, so this set has a lot of stuff: Fleischer cartoons, some specials, some behind-the-scenes stuff, the Look Up in the Sky documentary, a whole documentary on the making of Superman, which is huge. It's you don't want to get that or replace that? Or how do you replace that? Plus, it's been so long. Well, I look up and lo and behold, of course, I should have known. There was a Blu-ray set, and mostly again, this isn't any kind of startling revelation for most people, as this is not a recent set. But I did find the Superman motion picture anthology, 78 to 2006, on Blu-ray, and to my delight, it's only in like an 8-disc set, so like almost half the discs of the previous set, but it still includes every single thing that's on that 14-disc DVD set. So that was very good, and this is a nice fancy little box. You got your open sliding, and then you've got little ass, which is nice. All your films, details. Opens up, yeah, you got all those same features on that disc. If I can, but it's condensed into 8 discs as opposed to 14. But everything's still here, so I didn't miss anything. But now I have it all on Blu-ray. And not long after I got it, lo and behold, my daughter had seen the set sitting up on the shelf with next to the original box set, and she asked me she wanted to watch. She loves Superman. She loves, especially Superman the movie. She really loves that movie a lot, and she wanted to watch Superman. So I was okay. Well, let's do something different, and we watched Superman 2. Let me just slides on here. Okay, so we watched Superman 2, and it played beautifully. It was great. Looked good. Sounded good. She wasn't much of a fan though. I think she thought in her mind, Kara said it was a little too. Some points were a little too scary for her. I think she felt bad for Superman when he lost his powers, but she was very happy when he got him back, and she was cheering him on. It was great. Like I said, I love it because she really got into it. He really enjoyed it, and that's just fun. That's the things that I just enjoy with the kids, is getting the chance to sit down and watch what movies I love with them, which is a rare thing. So I'm glad she enjoyed that. Now, that being said, I don't know if she's ready for Superman 3. Definitely not Superman 4. Probably not Superman Returns either. So I may just stick with her to Superman, the movie, which not a bad thing. That's a good film. Wonderful film. But so that is it for these recent pickups. There's a lot there. Thanks for sticking around this long. Hopefully you have. It's like a half an hour of me rambling. But that is that. I do have some more stuff coming here soon, especially something we're looking forward to, hopefully, the next day. But that is it for now. If you like this, click the thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on any of these movies. If you've picked up, you still have that 14-disc set. Is it still working for you? Did one of your discs stop working on you? Did you get the Blu-ray pickup? Did you get anything from the Arrow box set sale? Or what about some of these Shout Select titles? Your thoughts on, do you love the Jerk as much as I do? Whatever you got, or just say hi. I'll always take that too. So until next time, this is Chuck saying, I'll see you on the other side.